And we need to officially welcome a new member to the morning show. Ryan Baldwin, who's been doing ticket tickers this morning, is our new full-time ticket ticker guy here in Morning Drive. Welcome to the program, Ryan.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
All right, Ryan.
Good to have you on board. DJ, who was our short-time ticker guy, got a promotion last week when he got bumped up to hardline producer. So we're very excited for DJ. He's very excited to not wake up at 4 a.m. anymore.
Oh, no.
We loved having DJ here for his short time, but he is now going to be producing the Hardline. I know he's really excited about that. They're really excited about that. Travis Mejia is going to be producing the Donnie and Matt extravaganza, The Invasion, from 10 to 1. So we'll see Travis every morning at 10 a.m. during Crosstalk.
Congrats to all these guys.
Yes, congrats to Travis, congrats to DJ, and congrats to Ryan, our new ticket ticker guy. Anything you need, you let us know.
Coffee?
My only tip to you is backup alarm. Set a regular alarm, but also set a backup alarm in case that regular one doesn't go off.
I had 3 or 4 alarms set for this morning.
See? He's way ahead of you.
Perfect. You'll do just fine. All right, it's time for the O-Deck with Gordo.
Well, we all know that George's close personal friend, Kevin Costner, is going through a bit of a difficult time right now.
Yeah, I just kind of left him alone. I hadn't said anything.
Yeah, you haven't contacted him. Just kind of let him, he can reach out to you if he needs to.
Yeah.
But he's going through a divorce. He and his wife, after I think it was 18 years of marriage, they split up in early May, and now they're in court fighting about his and hers kids' child support. Because according to their prenup that she signed, she gets, I think, $1.5 million from the divorce. So that's all she gets. And I know that saying all there seems weird to a lot of people, to a lot that goes on. But in Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner's world, that's his soon-to-be ex-wife, that doesn't seem like too much to her.
I bet her lawyers have a different idea of what she should get.
Yes, and they were in court on Friday, and she had a temporary allowance during these proceedings of $129,000 a month.
Yeah, you can get by on that, right?
You would think, but she wanted it bumped up to $161,000 a month so that she could rent a beachfront home comparable to the one that she lived in with Costner.
Oh, that whole thing.
Yes.
What she's accustomed to.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And her legal team argued that her children have luxury in their DNA.
That's a good one.
I've never heard that before.
And that they are used to being about 50 steps away from putting their toes in the ocean.
There's no way that helps those kids when they go to school.
Big water, ocean.
Oh, look. Look who's walking into the classroom. The kids with luxury in their DNA.
Yeah, but all the kids they probably go to school with also have luxury in their DNA and probably completely agree with them.
Boy, Junior pointed out that house to us, though. That is one estate.
Yeah.
And that may be the case because it's Santa Barbara, but I did see they go to public schools. Now, public schools in Santa Barbara might be like the greatest private school in Dallas.
Right. Yeah, they have 3 kids together. But one of the arguments that she was making about how this is very unfair because the home that they have been renting, which I think cost $40,000 a month to rent.
Wow.
For a rental. She says that she wanted more money to get a better place because her 2 sons have to share a bathroom.
This place sucks, Mom.
So sad.
Yeah, boy. If they had to leave that mansion that we drove by compared to a place where they have to share a bathroom, teenage boys, I bet she heard a lot of hot takes.
I know, but so what's the right call here? I mean, these people clearly live in a way that most of humanity, and probably even, Kevin Costner didn't grow up like this.
No.
He makes all this money, and now she's entitled to this because how could she possibly raise her kids when two of them have to share a bathroom?
Yeah, did both kids have a basketball court in their bedroom, though, with the Jack and Jill bath between?
They do not both have a basketball
it's
court.
It's $40,000 a month.
I know. But the judge actually slashed. She was going in to ask to be bumped up from $129,000 to $161,000 a month. But instead, the judge cut the child support payments by over half to $63,000 a month.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess it didn't go so well for her.
Well, I hate that for them. And to make it even worse that it's public.
Yeah.
And all that gets out.
Why can't this stuff be private? I know we're always on the losing battle when we start saying this, because I think people generally enjoy nailing people to the wall with, it's public record, man, you're using our courts. But can't everybody involved say, hey, we want to do it in front of the judge and it'll be part of some permanent record, but we're just not so open about it.
Yeah.
I guess privacy is considered SG now. People don't like it.
I think the general public does not care about privacy for the celebrity. They love to hear whatever's going on, whether it's a divorce proceeding or.
But shouldn't we try to do the old adage of, okay, what would I want, right? Would I want my private business out there in front of everyone?
Of course not.
But I think people do that trick inside their mind of they think, well, it'll never come up for me, so I can go ahead and issue the hot sports. Hey, I don't care if my stuff's out there. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Plus, it's one thing that is always sold in our country, from the National Enquirer days to the TMZ programs to the billion websites out there that deal in celebrity gossip.
They're not a billion.
It drives our economy.
Right. We live in the celebrity economy. Although I wonder if that's going away, because celebrity culture has seemed to be different.
Doesn't seem to be.
But Kevin Costner is 68 years of age. He was an in-studio guest here once, and then you've talked to him once at training camp.
Maybe
training
twice,
camp, we had
right?
a gig, a couple times at training camp. We had a gig with him back in March.
He told the court on Friday his biggest fear here is that cash flow-wise, he was scared that if they upped the support they has to pay to $161,000 a month, which is what she was asking for, that he may have to sell his home that he's had for more than 20 years and sell his Aspen ranch to pay for the increase in child support because it's a cash flow deal.
I don't know. What do you think that place is worth?
His Aspen
Barbie.
Ranch?
No, Santa Barbie.
Oh.
She says it's worth $75 million.
Wow. I believe it.
Caden, their eldest son, has his own boat at the property, which he uses for fishing trips to the Channel Islands and diving. It's a pretty good little life.
Can't even dock my boat at this new house, Mom.
Christine Baumgartner also complained that they're at their rental house and talking about how she needed to upgrade it because it's so insulting. She complained that visitors from the guest house would have to come into the main house to use the shower.
It's got a guest house.
Yeah. So
I saw that he was making $1 million a month, maybe a week. I think it was a month just from Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
But his lawyers were arguing that's about to go away because he's quitting the series.
Right. Yeah, he's quitting the series, but it's when you get into the issue of marriage and finances, everyone has hot sports opinions,
Including Chris Rock.
Yeah, you always bring that up.
What you become accustomed to.
It is weird though how we have this thing. I mean, granted, the woman, I don't know how much she worked in the past 18 years, that she was primarily raising kids.
Big job. Very important. It's the job.
Well, it's the job, yes. Unless you want a different job, and then it's like, I'm not staying home to raise kids. What do you think I'm doing? I'm not. Then we denigrate the job.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so she stayed home, raised kids. That's 18 years she wasn't in the workforce. So she, I guess, gets compensated for that, right?
Yeah.
Although that's a little weird, too, because you are getting a benefit from not having to work, too. Like, it's already, in some way, it's already benefits paid, right? You got to stay home and raise kids. So why does life have to make you whole in that you get to live two lives? You get to have 18 years of staying home raising kids, and you get compensated for those 18 years that you were not in the workforce.
Why we ought to go back to the way it was in the 50s?
Stop.
I don't know who said that.
I don't
Who
know,
said
some
that?
off
Somebody
mic
off.
guy
Yeah.
needs to shut up.
Get him out of the studio. He's going to get us in trouble.
It just seems strange to me that we still can't settle on an answer to all this.
Well, it's because some of these things it's very difficult to put a value on. I mean, having the best care for your children and having one of the parents there all the time, what's the value of that? That's a really tough thing to put a price on.
But it also is weird anytime someone marries someone who's rich and famous.
Yeah.
And then they act like, well, I mean, I would have been rich and famous had I not married that person. I mean, I was right on the brink of my career as a, well, what were you? Oh, I worked at a coffee shop. But I'm saying that that business could have really taken off, and she was all rich and famous before I got married to her, but I could have been rich and famous. It's like, how if I marry some woman who makes a lot of money and has an established career, and then all of a sudden at the end of 18 years, I'm entitled to make at least half of all that stuff right there. I would have been one of the highest paid guys in acting too.
I think you take your whatever it is, $100,000 a month, and call it good.
Yeah, 100,000 a month's pretty dang good, isn't it?
The only way to change this is for you to become a judge, and you make a lot of rulings,
mm-hmm.
and then you establish a precedent, and then everything falls into place. But that's the only way I can see that you change it.
The other argument is that, well, it's a business. Marriage is a business, and that's what it started with a long time ago. And so you sign a business agreement that person gets 50% of your earnings during this time that you have this business together.
Mm-hmm.
It's very straightforward. But it also seems kind of unfair if a guy is married to a woman who's rich and famous, not even famous, just rich, and then all of a sudden you get half of everything that she built before then.
Yeah.
It's because you were the wind
ongoing.
beneath her wings.
That right there. Your Honor, wind beneath wings.
That's the ODEC 634 on the ticket.
Sad story out of TCU. Did you see where that TCU junior, Wes Smith, was shot and killed at the entertainment district, that West 7th entertainment district that they have there?
Yeah.
Just a crazy shooting that happens, I guess, late Thursday night, early Friday morning. And dude just walks up to him and unloads a gun. And it was just a random act of violence.
Incredible.
Awful.
And killed this young man. And, of course, they're worried about the violence that's happening in that district, and some people are comparing it to what's been seen in Deep Ellum here in Dallas. But police are saying, look, there's not much we could do about something like this, because when it's a random act of violence and a guy just walks up and unloads a gun into another person.
How do you stop it?
And just a bout of craziness. Yeah, the cops even got security footage, showed that the cops got there in less than a minute. And police were there in the area at the time.
This guy does have a record, right?
I believe so, yes. They've arrested 21-year-old Matthew Purdy for the killing of Wes Smith.
It's so sad.
I know it, and I hate that. I can't stand it that our entertainment districts are places that you have to keep your head on a swivel,
Yeah.
I guess that's people for you, right? People are a danger.
Yeah.
And anytime you have a place where people congregate,
That's why when
This
your kids
happens.
go off to college, that's your worst nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
When the details are just so disturbing, you probably don't want to get into the specifics of the shots,
Yeah.
what this guy said.
Yeah,
You
it's just too-
It's awful.
Too disturbing. All right. The First Lady, Jill Biden, has tested positive for the hoax. So she's positive for COVID-19, experiencing only mild symptoms. And the president has tested for the virus, and so far he's negative.
It has really had an uptick here the last couple of weeks.
I know it. That's why I was thinking you were going to have hoax.
I know. I don't call it hoax. But, yes, I was tested
Hoax
several
19.
times.
Yeah. What was that? Was it a whisper? Something? Or was it a laugh?
Just a laugh.
Okay, took my headphones off for a second. But they will continually test the president. Come on, man. Give me a test, man.
Test, man.
Give me all the test, man. I left my heart.
Okay.
Oh, God love you.
The joke being I use the same voice for both Tony Bennett and Joe Biden. So Jill Biden said, I'm going to stay at the couple's home. And she talks like that, too.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah. At Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, for the time being. That's where she'll be staying.
Is she still teaching?
How would she
She's
have
not even a
time?
real doctor. She has doctor in front of her name,
Unless she
but
just
she's not a medical doctor.
comes in once a month or something.
I thought that
Were
was
you
the
a
thing.
big
She was
dog
still
in
teaching.
school?
Is she? Like
No,
grade school?
That may be high. I don't know.
No, there's
You could
something
be
to what
right.
he's saying. That
College something?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe she just comes in once a month and
Yeah,
teaches a
maybe.
course, but she can't be teaching full time.
Today we're going to learn the ABCs, man.
I brought in the president to teach you all the ABCs. I know it's A. And then,
Something comes after it, and I can't remember what now. But I'm the leader of
why
the
don't
free
you
world,
guys-
man.
Why don't you tell me?
She's been a professor of English, Northern Virginia Community College, and is believed to be the first wife of a vice president or president to hold a salaried position during her husband's
Yeah.
tenure.
Still teaching. Still teaching, man.
She's teaching everyone all the things,
Yeah.
man.
I'll be damned, George. Continues to teach English and writing.
Yeah.
that's got to be a
that's as of a
security concern, isn't
a
it?
year ago.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's crazy to a lot that goes on. But she has the COVID, so
Yes. Our best wishes.
and she's
Well,
older,
first-
so you definitely don't want to give it to Biden. He's 80, and it can wreak havoc on the
Yep.
elderly. I have seen the wording of it, being that twice boosted Jill Biden gets COVID.
No one ever said you couldn't get it just because you were boosted.
At
or
one point, it
get
seemed
the
like they
vaccine.
did say that, but yes, you learn that hey, it doesn't protect you from getting it, but it's supposed to help make it less severe. And when you're older, you need every little bit of help you
Right.
get. Burning Man has ended. Now, I
Wow.
never was way into Burning Man.
Y'all need to help me out. What are you
Me
talking
neither. Burning. You didn't see the scenes from Burning Man this weekend? Oh my god!
Lines of cars that are miles long.
It's a music festival in
Boy,
the
Muse-
Nevada,
Oh, okay.
in the Nevada desert
about? Okay.
for 40 years now.
And they build this big kind of art
Okay.
piece, and then they burn it at the end of it. But it was, it kind of, I didn't pay attention to it when it first got popular.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always had one of those mental blank spots for it. Kind of like I had for the Bosnia-Herzegovina war back when I was a little kid, and that would be talked about on the news, and I tuned
You
out.
heard
and so
Burning
now I
Man
have-
and shut down.
yeah, and then I glaze over when I hear Burning Man.
Burning Man, man.
That's a double man.
This is a double man, man. That's a triple man, man.
Whenever I hear Burning Man, I think of Matthew McConaughey because that's like his.
He goes out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
He loves that, and he's perfect for that.
And there were a lot of celebrities that were out there at
Yeah.
Burning Man.
He just lights his doobie off a burning car.
But Doobie seems kind of like an old term to me. Like, and plus in my mind, Coachella and Burning Man kind of mixed up a little bit
me
there.
too. Me too.
But anyway, they had a lot of rain, and the place was full of mud. And people were trying to get out of there. 70,000 people trying to leave that place at the same time.
Who played it? Anybody?
Look at that line of cars trying to get out.
Jeez. Okay, I saw that on the news. I didn't know what it was.
You tuned out?
I thought
you thought it was people
we were
leaving
bombing Iraq
Bosnia-Herzegovina
or something. I didn't know what was going on. What?
It's nothing to laugh about, sir.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that's what it looked like.
Oh, okay, you were just saying?
I was just
okay,
saying.
you fair caught there.
Can't
Verbal
hit me.
fair catch, fine. But yeah, there were some viral videos that went out of celebrities hitching rides with people trying to get out of there. I think Chris Rock walked 3 hours in the mud trying to get out. That's what I heard.
You think he dropped an F-bomb?
Oh, my gosh.
Why does he have to use the F-bomb? Can he not be funny without the F-bomb?
How cool for those people, though.
He finishes burrito as I talk to you.
Okay.
He's just hitchhiking, and this truck pulls over and picks him up.
Mm-hmm.
How cool to pick up Chris Rock.
Right. Pick up Chris Rock, and he's giving you directions using his gnarl fingers. Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin.
Golf match?
I don't know if they're going to meet for golf, but they are going to meet.
I'm ready.
In Russia this month to talk about Kim Jong-un supplying Russia with more weaponry for its war in the Ukraine.
Right.
And I guess Kim is going to ask for advanced technology for satellites and nuclear-powered submarines in return. Also possible food.
Awesome.
Because I don't think they have enough food in North Korea. What a weird country. I remember seeing that, what's his name from Vice? What's the lead main guy from Vice? The guy that started at Shane, I don't know.
Churla?
Christmas Sam.
Hot dog.
Anyway, he went to North Korea, and it was just so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, hospitality seats him in this big dining hall that was set with probably 2,000 plates, and he's the only one in there eating. And he just had some lettuce. Stay nourished. It was so crazy.
Shane Smith,
yes. We've had several notable musical deaths, and I want to tease ahead to musical musers today we started around 8:50, 8:55.
Mm-hmm. I'm teasing, but I'm not teasing.
Because we're going to talk about him a little more at length, but I do want to mention the deaths here. Jimmy Buffett dying at the age of 76 after a 4-year battle with skin cancer. The mayor of Margaritaville.
Yeah. Billionaire?
I think pretty
right
close to
yeah.
it. At least $500 million because he owned those
He was a smart
restaurants.
dude.
And that's the thing. That's the way you get rich. You got to have the side business. You leverage the fame for the side business, and then the side business is what makes you a billionaire.
Yep.
Like Jessica Simpson's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not
Celebrity
from
net
music.
worth has him at $1 billion at the time of his passing.
Holy mackerel. Someone who was not a billionaire, Steve Harwell, passing away at the age of 56. He was the lead singer of the band Smash Mouth.
Well, my kids love them.
Yeah, and they had a huge hit. Of course, All-Star was a hit in 1999, but then when they put it in Shrek, every kid knows All-Star because of Shrek.
Yeah.
Somebody done
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the
Have you seen
sharpest tool in
the meme where people take videos of people who have a big fall or they fall off of something, and they'll put it to this music, and you just hear and then you wait for the moment in the video, and then that's when they fall. It's kind of funny.
Catchy song.
Yeah, they had this song. They had their first hit was "Walking on the Sun." Might as well be walking
I like
on
that
the sun.
song.
Boom, bap, bap, bap. He passed away at the age of 56.
Damn.
They announced a few days ago that he was going into hospice because his liver had shut down. He had a problem with the drinking. As do many people.
The other Shrek one was I'm a Believer.
Yeah, they re-recorded I'm a Believer And, of course, they had a hit with that, too.
Monkeys.
It was the original Bunky song. And then Gary Wright passing away.
Dreamweaver?
At the age of 80, yes, Dreamweaver.
Wow.
I know it. It's an addictive song. I like that song.
Yeah, I love that song.
So we will discuss that and a notable instrument that's being looked for right now. A massive global search for one of the most famous musical instruments of all time. We'll talk about that in Muse and the Musical Musers at 8:55 today. So tune in for that. Did you see the story about the dog that snuck out of its home and then snuck into SoFi Stadium to watch Metallica?
No.
And I think there's a viral picture of this German Shepherd dog that's sitting down in a chair watching Metallica play.
How far did he have to walk?
It was sir.
Her.
And she snuck from a home that was located near SoFi Stadium and walked to SoFi to watch Metallica. You'd think a dog would move away from loud sounds.
Yeah.
But he heard the tune and
But
went,
she
whoa,
heard the tune.
that's Metallica.
Obviously.
And she went to go see Metallica. They say her favorite song was Master of Puppies.
That's not much of a picture
play
that's
on.
circulating. I mean, she could be anywhere. Could be in a movie theater.
Yeah, but she's watching Metallica
Occupying
there,
a seat.
which is kind of funny.
By the way, how does Dog Day at Globe Life sneak up on us?
Hetfield just doesn't try anymore. Hetfield he really skimps on the guitar parts.
What?
How does Dog Day sneak up on us at Globe Life every year? And it's like you don't know about it until you watch the game and you see dogs in the stands.
It's the greatest day of the year.
I would have taken my dog. He would have loved it.
How do they not have more incidents?
I don't know. Dog fights.
Litigious and protective as we are in society these days,
Yeah.
you would think that having everyone bring their wild-ass dog to a Ranger game is bad.
What if a poodle gets lit up by a foul ball or something?
Well, I don't think that's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned more about dogs attacking people.
Does it sneak
and getting
up
in
on
fights
us
with each other?
because we always refer to the dog days of baseball?
Maybe.
And so we're not really sorting through what the dog days mean.
Chuck Morgan needs to give us more of a heads up. He needs to.
Yeah, he's
needs to call.
He's failing us. He's
He
failing
needs
our
to
society
jump on our
right
show
now.
every year and warn us that Dog Day is almost
Chuck,
here.
do better. A Delta flight from Atlanta to Barcelona was forced to turn around. So that was a long flight that they were going on there. And they turned around and had to come back to Georgia because I'll just read you the text from the captain of the plane to air traffic control. Divert to Atlanta. Passenger diarrhea all over aircraft. Biohazard.
Oh,
What? From one passenger or many?
No. I have nothing to do with
It
this.
says here that it was a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the plane.
What?
Oh, my.
I don't understand this either. I don't know whether they were mounted to a rotating turret and they were just spraying.
Yeah, even if you
It was like a rotating sprinkler.
have an emergency, keep it aimed in one spot so you.
Yeah, go in the seat back pocket of the seat in front of you. But it was so bad, they said it was dribbled down the aisle and it
Spelled absolutely horrible.
Wow.
People getting sick.
And then they use the vanilla-scented disinfectant to try to do something, and then they said it smelled like vanilla, and then there's a word here I cannot read. But one guy commented on social media, said,
Both my wife and I were on the flight. It was a mess. The pilots made the right decision to turn around. The ground crew ripped out the carpet and put in new.
Ripped out.
yeah, they had to rip out the carpet.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
They changed the
Put tile down.
They tiled
tile
it.
crew.
Hardwoods.
Guy out there running a wet saw in the tile.
Bingo.
What? All right, birthdays. Bob Newhart, the comedian, is 94.
Genius.
Who is Bob Newhart?
He is so great.
Loudon Wainwright III, 77. Dweezil Zappa, 54. Rose McGowan, 50. Bill Mazeroski, 87. And turning 72 today, the spare actor Michael Keaton.
Oh, my gosh.
Bill
He is
Blazejowski.
the greatest of all time.
Most unfunny.
He's my favorite.
He still is great. You watch him in stuff now. He
Yeah.
looks great. He still is a very compelling performer.
Yep.
Michael Keaton, happy birthday, 72.
All right, that's Muse. We got a big series going on in Arlington at Globe Life. It's the Rangers and Astros. Pretty rough one for Texas yesterday, dropping game 1. But they're working the Labor Day sellout, and working these next couple of games is the guy who joins us now on the ticket hotline. He's our favorite octogenarian, the head usher at Globe Life Field. It's Jesse the Usher. Hi, Jesse.
Let me know when they come to me. I can't hear one.
Not again.
Yeah, Jesse, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hello? Hey, young man, how are you?
Good. Good to talk to you
I can
again.
hear you now. I couldn't hear you at first through the telephone, but now I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So, yeah, I want to, can I start off by giving out a hello to someone?
Okay.
I know that Dave Reyes says my name every once in a while on the broadcast, and
Oh, Dave Raymond?
yeah, and so I'd like to give him a shout out here too. So
Okay.
shout out to the Dave Raymond.
Raymond. I'm sure he's thrilled by that.
I think, Dave, that you are the best play-by-play guy in baseball in DFW, bar none. That's what I say, bar none.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta say, I've had enough of ushering these games out there for the Rangers as they are ushering themselves right out of this pennant race.
Well, they're only a game back, and they're a half game up on Toronto. It's not over yet.
Well, it's just frustrating. It's not only frustrating for the fans and for the head ushers, but it's frustrating for the manager too. The skipper Boach, he's losing it. He's out of control behind the scenes.
He's losing it.
Oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe the rants and the abuse that I've watched him issue.
Really?
He got so mad at that bullpen yesterday after the game.
Uh-huh.
He called them all a bunch of female vaginas.
Oh, gosh.
And that offended me as a person who feels like vaginas should not be gendered in any way.
Correct.
So I was very upset by that. So I recommended a different word for him to say that I can't say on the air, but it's word for the female vagina. But he went ape-ass in that clubhouse too.
Did he?
He did. He went into his office and he opened up 28 cans of his signature chili and dumped them on each player. Yeah.
Yeah, we've heard about
So
that
he
chili.
does have his own chili.
Yeah, has his own chili, and that took a long time too, because he just had one of them hand crank can openers too. So it took a while to get
Those things
through 'em
take
all.
forever.
I know it, but he treated his players just awful, awful.
Well, they've lost, what, 13 out of 17 or something
I know,
crazy?
but still, they're your team. You know, you can't be treating them like I treated those Germans hiding in that pill box in Omaha Beach that day.
That was a long
time ago,
Long
Jesse.
time ago now.
Yep.
Long time ago, but you know, we'll do what we can. Maybe I'll get in there and give a pep talk to the team, get them to play really good. I tell you what, I think I've learned how to give a good pep talk.
Oh, yeah? From who?
Deion Sanders.
Oh, yeah? What do you know about that?
Well, I was out there at the TCU game with them playing Colorado, Deion's new team. And I tell you, man, I'm a TCU fan, but Deion got me fired up.
Did he?
I was there in the locker room when he was there when he was giving his team that speech.
Wow.
You were?
Oh yeah. I tell you, listening to him talk, made me want to put on a buff uniform and run the flying V for him. Show him how it's done there. But yeah, I was right there next to him. You know, I'm his I'm his personal security detail anytime he's in the Metroplex.
You are?
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm kind of his right-hand man, and so I was in charge of pushing play on Dion's boombox when he gave me the audio cue to play his fight song.
You did that.
That was you.
That was me. That was me. That's right.
You played his theme music.
Play his theme music. I tell you, man, that was loud too and everything. But he knows how to get people inspired. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to recommend that to Bochy, that he needs to get someone on his boombox to press play on play his theme song.
Hey, it couldn't hurt right now.
Yeah, I'd try
I know.
anything.
The only problem is his theme song is Fire and Rain by James Taylor. Kind of a low
It doesn't
energy
really
number.
get the room going.
Kills the mood there, I
Kills
guess.
the mood a little bit, but, maybe I can help him with a song selection, help him weed through a Spotify list or something.
Right.
Anyway, hey, you guys see how much Trump's leading in the Republican side of things?
Jesse,
We're going to move it along. We got to run.
All right now.
All right, we'll see. There goes Jesse the Usher and head security guy apparently at TCU games. It's 8:46 on the ticket. We had some notable deaths over the weekend in the musical world, and we'll talk about it in Musical Musers next. And hosting today is our friend Gordon Keith.
Thank you,
Or is it
Giorgio.
Keith?
We have had several really notable musical deaths. And we start off with probably the biggest, certainly the wealthiest of all the artists who passed away, and that is Jimmy Buffett, famous for this song. What about that line right there, George? Go ahead. No, I know you want to say something.
Yeah, I want to say what a brilliant career he had and an amazing
all right.
job of
You're
turning
backing out.
a couple of songs into a business empire.
Launching what? A couple songs.
A couple of songs into
a business empire?
Yeah.
That seems like you're minimizing his musical career, but okay.
I'm not trying to.
It did seem like a backhanded compliment.
I didn't mean it that way. I mean, I was never a parrot head, but I know a lot of people were and are very heartbroken about his passing.
Okay.
On my front porch swing.
But when I do hear the opening bars of this song, it makes me want to take a hacksaw to my privates.
Hacksaw. And you know what? It's unfair.
Great chorus, though, right?
Yes, it's a great chorus. The song is fine. It's not his fault. This is every songwriter's dream that their song gets played so much that when you hear it, you go, "Oh my gosh, that song again!" But there's a reason why it got played that much.
Great chorus.
Great one.
But I know.
I think it's "Blew Out My Flip Flop" that just sends me into a.
Hold on.
Don't know the reason.
He doesn't know the reason.
Stayed here all season.
All season.
Nothing is sure but this brand new tattoo.
Nothing is sure except that. Brand new tattoo.
But it's a real beauty.
You like the lazy singing?
I'm Mexican Cuban. How it got here, I haven't a clue.
But it's such perfect beach music, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's such a feel-good song. He died with a net worth of close to $1 billion.
He did not die with a.
Because he had these Margaritaville restaurants. He sold 20 million records. Margaritaville, of course, is his biggest hit, but he had other ones. His big breakthrough was in 1977. That's when Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes came out. And this one, here's a live version of this song.
Carnivorous habit. Made it nearly 70 days. Losing weight without speed, eating sunflower seed. Drinking like
Now, that's the name of the restaurant, right? It's a
Burger.
Cheeseburger in Paradise?
No, I think you can get that on the menu.
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville
Gotcha.
restaurant.
Okay.
But he passed away at the age of 76 after a 4-year battle with Merkel cell carcinoma, which is a really aggressive form of skin cancer. And, it's just a reminder as a guy who wrote such great beach music, and so many people that go to the beach probably need to take better care of their skin, protect themselves, because if you get skin cancer, that is particularly these aggressive forms of it.
Oh, it's terrible.
Like melanoma and then this Merkel cell carcinoma. It can take you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, he battled it for 4 years, and that's no fun. I mean, he could have lived a much longer life because 76 is not that long these days. People live into their 80s and 90s. And if you're wealthy and have the greatest health care in the world, which he could have certainly afford it.
Sure.
But you get the skin cancer, don't take care of it, and don't get screened for it. I think a lot of people don't get thoroughly screened for skin cancer, and I happen to be one of them. I need to get checked out for skin cancer like Craig does, where he has them invade his anus every year.
Yeah, I go
looking for
twice a
every
year.
possible.
I go,
really?
I go twice a year because
you're out in the sun a lot.
Yeah, and my dermatologist found a pre-melanoma, and so she put me on a more frequent schedule. But anytime I go in and there's anything suspicious, I just tell them, take it off. Cut it off.
If it's your hand, whatever,
and
just take it off.
Think my head looks weird, take it off.
So Jimmy Buffett dying at the age of 76. Then we had Gary Wright, who passed away at the age of 80. Now, Gary Wright is a name that is not as readily recognized as Jimmy Buffett to me. I think Jimmy Buffett's name is more famous than Gary Wright. But Gary Wright wrote this song.
He was a corner outfielder, too, wasn't he? Yeah, that was George Wright. Or wait.
I thought you're confusing Gary Ward and George Wright.
Oh, my.
Sorry.
What is happening on the show right now?
Everything. Sorry.
Trying to take away my worries of today and leave tomorrow.
Gary, let's do another take, a little less vibrato. Thank you.
This is a
He's
great
fine.
song.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. That was the talkback from the producer.
Great song.
Can I take a time out? I swear.
Dude, we're
no,
in the most beautiful part of the
I know,
song.
but
and you're already taking a time out?
That's okay.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It's okay because it's about this chorus.
All right.
I swore the first 5 or 7 years I listened to this song, I thought he's saying Jane Weaver.
Who is Jane Weaver?
I don't know. I wanted to find out.
It's just a love song to a woman named Jane Weaver?
Yeah.
Huh.
That was one of my lyrical confusions.
I think it's one of the prettiest choruses of all time.
It's great.
I love it.
See what I mean? Listen for Jane. Doesn't sound like Dream to me.
Gary, the bass is a little busy on that synth. We're going to go ahead and clean that up.
And are you saying Jane or Dream?
Cut. We're going to tell the synth player to go ahead and not do so much. Lay back.
Do you have Love Is Alive, by the way?
Love Is Alive by Gary Wright?
I think that's his best song.
Okay.
I love Love Is Alive.
You do? So
do I. Let's get out of here.
It was that same album. It was on the Dreamweaver album.
Okay, yeah. So
that's Creed?
The Dreamweaver album was his biggest breakthrough hit.
Yeah, that's a good song.
That was Patty.
This song has a cool groove.
This album is credited as being the first big rock album with lots of synthesizers.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What year?
76.
Todd Rundgren may have something to say about that, but okay.
Oh, it's on. This was the opening track on the album.
Great song.
Hey, Maybe this should be my theme song. Just have someone fire it off as I walk in the room.
We all need to pick a theme song this week. When we enter a room, it just goes off automatically.
Died of Parkinson's at 80 after struggling with that and Lewy body dementia.
Oh, man.
He said that it had been a rough few years for him, and his son Dorian said that he was able to spend Gary's last morning sitting in lotus by his father's side, chanting and meditating for 2 hours.
Okay.
He did that, not his father.
No, yes. He was doing that as his father lay there dying.
Okay. We all grieve in our own way.
Maybe that's the way they wanted to do it.
On the TV Tim show, that's the way they do it. He said, as I chanted his last chant, I watched him take his last earthly breath. Thank you, Dad, for letting me help you leave your body for the astral plane. And Gary Wright was good friends with George Harrison. And he played keyboards on All Things Must Pass. And
he did?
Yeah,
Wow,
that whole album. Yeah,
that.
he got to be good friends with George Harrison. Not only did they bond musically, but they also had a shared love of Indian spirituality. So they bonded over that. And now we will, in the corner, I know we're up against it here, we'll talk about the other remaining musical death, as well as a global search for a missing famous piece of musical memorabilia. That's next in the corner. Okay, this next musician who passed away much younger than the other two. Jimmy Buffett was 74, Gary Wright was 80, but Steve Harwell was only 56 years of age, and he was the lead singer of this band. Sorry, the video has
I'd say there's potential.
some comedic acting in it.
Told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with
song
her
was huge.
finger and her
It was
thumb
everywhere.
in the shape of
Yeah, it came out in 1999, and it was a hit then. But then when it was at the opening credits of Shrek, that's what got a whole generation of kids into this song.
Yeah.
And this song is still huge. It's still played constantly at sporting events and things like that. And this whole band, they look so douche bro. And I remember there was a whole Saturday Night Live skit where this girl was complaining to her parents, "Mom, Smash Mouth's hiding in my closet." And these guys would come out singing this song. It's really obnoxious. But he was only 56 and passed away liver failure. They say he battled alcoholism and was in hospice there towards the end. But this song was huge, but this was not their first hit. You may remember that Walking on the Sun came out before. That was their first big hit.
Okay.
Which also sounded kind of retro, with this sound.
I thought it was cool.
Perfect harmony and teach the world to snuff the fires and the lawyers. Hey, I know it's just a song, but it's fast for the recipe. This is a love attack. I know when nobody's back.
You think this one's better than All Star?
I like it. I like it better.
And just like fashion, it's a passion for the withered and hip. If you got the goods, they'll come and buy it just to stay in the
Where's he from?
So don't you late, act now, supplies are running out. If you're still alive, 6 to 8 years to arrive. And something goes on.
A lot of other stuff.
And might as well be walking on the sun.
He's from California, by the way, George.
Yeah, San Jose.
Do we have,
What?
fake
we have what?
British accent going in there?
Well,
I know,
John.
On this morning of his death, you're
Yeah, what are you
accusing
doing?
him
I'm
of...
sorry. This is a terrible time to bring it up here at the service, but I'm just...
But to his
We're
family
always-
on the front row,
Just understand that
you
we're
guys
always
are
on the
clearly
lookout.
from California.
We're always on the lookout for
Why
fake
is your-
British accent.
Dead loved one singing in a British accent. Is it because he's saying "I'm a believer," which that is British as well, right?
Song's a banger.
why I was convinced the Monkees were just like maybe a slight notch under the Beatles.
But close.
Yeah, when I was little, I thought they were pretty much the same thing.
So this was a hit for them because it was in Shrek as well. He says they sold millions of albums when they were in Shrek. I said that was huge for them.
I bet.
Bass is a little too boomy in this mix, to be quite honest with you. But
To the family on the front row.
well, that's not their fault. I'm not blaming you guys on the front row. It was the producer.
I couldn't leave it.
George, we
I
also
tried.
we don't need that here at the service.
Well, I was just singing along.
How about this one?
If you rode and you broke it.
Are they all the same song?
You know what? All of this sounds like ticket return music in the late 90s, doesn't it?
It's like Austin Powers.
It does sound Austin Powers.
What?
I don't want to say because Craig gets mad. I think it's a fake British accent.
Stop it.
On the morning of his passing, do not accuse him of having a fake British accent. Give it a day.
Whenever we kiss, I get a feeling like this. I get a wishing that there were two of you. My heart.
This is all 60s music. It is all Austin Powers music.
I think it's great.
Anyway, he's passed away at 56. He was no longer with Smash Mouth at the time of his death.
Yeah, I heard they hauled off and got a new lead singer.
What do you mean hauled off? He left the band in 2021 and retired from performing after a live show in upstate New York, during which he was seen slurring his words, using profanity.
Uh-oh.
It happens.
And apparently giving a Nazi salute.
That
What?
doesn't happen.
So that was a bad gig for him.
The Nazis.
Purge.
There were a few elements there in that live presentation that he wishes he could have back.
I hate that he had demons like
That's
that.
That's a bad trifecta there to hit on one show. You try to space those out among 3 different gigs.
I mean, the slurring, the cussing.
What?
He probably could have gotten away with that.
What could he
But
not
then
get
the
away with?
accent, you're an all-star with that salute. That's
Oh my gosh. Jeez. In 2013, he was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy. George? That's a heart condition. Also, Wernicke's encephalopathy. Diagnosed with that, too. That's a neurological condition that can affect speech and memory. So maybe he couldn't remember. That explains the slurring, right?
yeah,
Affects
maybe
speech.
it was that. Yeah,
And memory, so maybe he couldn't remember
Makes your
that the
right
Nazi
arm
salute is not
extend.
okay.
Makes your right arm extend at odd times.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah,
at
I'm
that?
sorry. I'm sorry. Very sorry.
So,
It is very Monty Python to have a condition that just makes your right arm extend at odd times. See, and when he does it, his hair falls in his eyes.
yeah,
Gordon, I know he does.
not me. I did not do that. And then, how about this, Georgie? Shout out to the new lead singer, Zach Good.
Who's that?
He's the new lead singer of Smash
I know.
Mouth.
But where did he come to us from?
The group has concerts coming up during this week. They're still playing and stuff.
See,
So I'm sure they'll dedicate a few of these to him, right? What?
why don't they call them smells? Why
What?
don't they call themselves something else now? They don't have their guy.
Okay, yeah, I know. A lead singer is very important to a lot that goes on. But, like, All Star was written by the guitarist. He wrote that song all by himself.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Why don't
And
they
then
call
I'm a
themselves-
Believer. That's a cover. I mean, this guy was doing a cover of it. Steve Harwell. So why can't Zach Good do covers?
I don't know. Go buy Waffle Stomp or something different.
Dude. No.
Would that be a good band name?
It is weird, though, how you're allowed to change out every member of a band except the lead singer. And then we get really destabilized by it. Who are the groups that successfully did it? I would say Van Halen successfully did it. I know that's a controversial because some people love Diamond Dave.
Yes, it is.
But they had huge hits with Sammy Hagar.
For sure.
And the band was named after the guitarist and drummer.
Right.
So the Van Halens are still in there. Journey,
I don't think you're seeing Journey or Foreigner when you go see them now.
But if you're seeing Journey, you're seeing Neil Schon and Jonathan Cain, and I guess that's all that's left of the.
Yeah, I mean, you just
I think
don't
Ross
have the band
Valerie and
anymore.
Steve Smith aren't in it anymore.
You can make a strong argument that the face and voice of every band, the lead singer, is the most important, and without them, they lose a giant chunk of their identity.
Art, are you seeing Queen when you go see them now?
No,
with
I don't
Adam
think
Lambert?
so. No, it's good, but it's
you
not
got
Queen.
You got Deacon and Brian May and
Yes.
Roger Taylor
Sure.
still there.
You're seeing a version of Queen, but you're not seeing Queen.
Okay, what if John Deacon had died in Queen and they replaced him with another bass player and Freddie was still alive? Could those three tour and still call themselves Queen?
If they replace him with Deacon Jones, maybe.
Stupid.
By the way, George, you were wondering who this new singer for Smash Mouth is?
Yeah.
This is from his own website. It says that he made a name for himself in the voice acting world in L.A. and most recently as the voice of the National Taco Bell ad campaign. That's where he comes from.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I just think that's an odd lead, going running from the border to being the lead singer for Smash Mouth.
Hold on. I just tuned in. I need a moment with the sentence.
He went from singing about taquitos to singing big hits.
Yeah, that's not an odd leap to you?
No. Arlo Pineda went from, I don't know, washing dishes in the Philippines to being the lead singer of Journey. That's a bigger transition.
Well, maybe, I don't know, I'll do Fake Cuban. Maybe I can be the lead singer for the Killers someday.
Oh, my gosh.
Still got the wheeze laugh. I think it may be here to stay.
Wow, that'd be great.
I watched the Keith Richards documentary. He probably didn't think he'd laugh like that when he was like,
how in the world? I've watched a few documentaries on,
I don't know,
either Keith Richards or about music, and Keith is interviewed for it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, this is like 20 years ago, this documentary was made. And he was in stage then.
Yeah.
Like he was, let's go ahead and get hospice in after this documentary clears out, because his lungs are so moist and congested.
And I laughed just like him now. That's all I could think about watching this documentary.
It's awesome.
And then he takes a break and
then he
just
smokes.
tugs on a cigarette.
How is it possible? And he's what, 80-something?
Yeah.
He's 80, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. This documentary is really good, too. Shows that when he played in this like all-star band with Little Richard, and he gets in this like F-bomb tirade argument with Little Richard.
What?
Yeah.
Like back in the day?
Yeah, it was 25, 30 years ago.
Keith turns 80 in December. 79 now. He looks 99.
Oh, my gosh. He looks so old. And the thing is, he has that voice because he's got the cough and everything. And then you watch him play guitar, and he's got arthritis fingers. He's got his index finger, the last knuckle, is at a right angle to his finger.
Yeah, man, his hands are crazy looking.
Wow, how does he play?
I don't know.
He's so smooth, though. And it showed him in the studio. That's a Little Richard, I think it's Chuck Berry, sorry, that he got in an argument with. But it shows him playing with like Muddy Waters, and it's really good.
What's it called?
I'll look it up and tell you.
Is it about his life?
They go back into some old Stone stuff, but it's mainly about him and what he thinks of music and him in the studio. There's a couple of Stones nuggets in there.
See, I think I've seen that. I think maybe that's one of the ones I'm talking about.
Good.
It shows his guitar collection.
Some of it, yeah.
How he
his
has
guitar tech. And
a 3-ring binder of all his, how Mitt Romney had binders of women. Keith Richards has binders of his guitars.
Yeah.
And he just looks through it and orders up, let me go with the 56 Stratocaster, the one with the Mary Kay Strat. Whatever he says, I don't know.
Isn't that a good example? What if Mick left the Stones? Are you in any way seeing the Rolling Stones if they got some guy from Taco Bell to fill in?
Wait, what? If Adam Lambert filled in, that would still be the Stones.
No.
Adam Lambert's a legit singer.
He is, but that would not be the Stones. Mick is the Stones.
Yeah.
All apologies to Keith and Charlie and everybody else who was there forever, but Mick is the Stones.
Yeah, because the front man is the human voice is still such the human connection to the band.
Yeah.
And it's the front guy, but even though those musicians, I just hate that guitar players and all this, they get the short end of the stick just because they play an instrument.
I mean, Keith's made a very nice living over the years.
Let me go ahead and have the 1983 Squad JV Strat.
It's him ordering another guitar. Speaking of instruments, there is now a global search on for something that has bugged me for forever and ever, and I'm wondering how this thing has not been found before now. Paul McCartney. Did you guys know that he lost his first... He's had 2 violin basses, main ones in the Beatles. His first bass is known as the Cavern bass because it was the first one that he bought back when they were playing the Cavern Club in Hamburg, Germany. And they lost their bass player, Stu Sutcliffe. And Paul had to switch from guitar and piano to bass. And he saw this music shop, the Steinway Music Shop. He looked in there, and there hanging on the wall was one of those violin basses. And he thought, well, I'm going to get one like that because it's symmetrical and it won't look so stupid being left-handed. Because left-handed instruments do look weird. I'm left-handed, and they still look weird to me when you have a non-symmetrical instrument. But if you have one that has a symmetrical, 3-on-a-side tuners and, similar cutaways, double cutaways, or something like that, it looks better. And so Paul thought the same thing. So he ordered a left-handed Hofner bass, the violin bass. And his first one had the 2 pickups that were closer to the neck. And he had that from like 61 to 63, I think, is when he got his second Hofner.
He bought the first one in Hamburg?
Yeah.
From a hamburger?
Keith Richards really liked that one.
I knew you were brewing something because you're looking way too interested in these ridiculous musician details of the instruments. You're looking at me like you're really, really tuned into what I was saying, which never happens. And that bass, he used it on the first few Beatles records, in fact, like Twist and Shout and all that. Yeah, Craig's looking at me again. He's really interested. And then he switched over to this 63 Hofner that he played for the majority of the Beatles stuff. And that's the one you can still see if you go see Paul McCartney play live, his second Hofner bass. Because the first one, it appeared when they were in the Revolution video and also when they were practicing for Let It Be. You can see it in some of that footage, his very first Cavern bass. But it was around that time that it went missing out of a storage closet, and there's differing accounts whether it happened at Apple Corps, which is their business, or whether it happened at Abbey Road. But someone stole that bass. It went missing. And it's been missing ever since then. And now 3 Beatles fans have gotten together, and this has gotten lots of press coverage. They have launched a global search for Paul McCartney's original Cavern bass. And this is like the 63 one that he played for most of the Beatles and that he still plays now. That's got to be the most expensive. If that ever went up for auction, it would be the most expensive instrument ever.
Yeah.
But I could make an argument that the Cavern bass would be right up there. It played on the first few Beatles records. It was Paul McCartney's first bass guitar.
Yeah.
And it was the bass that caused him to get even that second bass. And think about how iconic that Hofner look is. That violin bass is such an iconic look, and it's all because this is the one that he bought. That's the one. This is the very first one. He would have had this second one if he had not had that first one.
So you're saying it's all about that bass?
All right. I have enjoyed doing sports radio, and I wish you both a fine rest of your career.
Okay, thank you.
Gordo's done. All right.
A walk-off.
He walked it off.
All right, that's the corner.
But we have to make the call because our first guest is just staring me right in my face, saying, why am I not on right now? So here we go. impressive. Playing his own
That wasn't bad, Matt. Good job.
music.
Yeah, that was
That was
amazing.
Matt playing there.
I'm very good.
Yeah.
What's up, Gordon?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How are you?
Hey, I just wanted to stop by your program to promote 5:30 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. I do a show with George and Craig.
Okay. What's the show called?
It's called The Morning Musers.
Oh,
I want
very
everybody
nice.
to tune into that.
Any
congrats
particular
on that.
time we need to tune in?
Well, Donnie, I'm glad you asked that because, yes, there are some particular times I'd like to promote. 6:15, I do the observation deck in which I observe the world and bring to you the things you need to notice. Then there's 7:15, I do Muse in the News, where I plow through the news of the day and only focus on the stories that are important.
kind of feel like I need to plow through that.
And then 9:15, Gordo's Corner. And that's just stuff that I didn't get to earlier.
Just kind of promoting you here instead of the program in general.
Yeah, and I do want to give a shout out to my support staff though,
And
George Dunham and Craig Miller. They've been on my team for probably close to 30 years now. So I don't want to leave them out. It's very important that I thank them and mention them publicly.
That's gracious of you. To do that.
Sure. Those guys have done nothing but I've been a great backline for me.
Kind of riding your coattails the whole time, but it keeps you strong. You know,
I know a lot of people say that, and I think they've acknowledged that in a few interviews, but I don't like wording it that way. I just really don't.
You know, I love having you here.
Thank you.
And I've always wanted to bring this subject up with you because no, it's not bad. It's good because on a previous edition of this, you mentioned about friendship and how a lot of times I think we as dudes take for granted the relationship or the friendship you probably need to have with other dudes to kind of keep your sanity. Because if you say, hey, my best friend, you're going to get laughed at. What are you, 8 years old with a best friend? What's wrong with you? But this weekend we had the domino tournament, and you did come by to support, and I really appreciate that.
Yes, congratulations on that. Another very successful event.
Thank you. We will have full details at 10:50. But there at Redbird were a couple of guys who over the course of my life I've considered my best friend. One guy was my best friend all through high school and probably the majority of college. And then, life gets in the way. We actually lived together when we got out of college. That was my roommate before I got married. And then the other guy that I actually played with, he was at a time considered my best friend. And you do kind of take that same sex relationship for granted and how you need to get those things off of your chest. Because we were, my wife and I were at a happy hour yesterday talking to another younger couple. And they're like, man, you got to be married for almost 30 years. What's the secret? And my wife's like, well, he truly is my best friend. And I kind of looked over. It's like, that's great. But there's no way I can talk to her about best friend things.
Really?
No. If I see some,
No, I understand what you're saying.
There are some things you probably need to get off your chest.
Men understand between men.
To tell a dude.
Women, I would imagine.
Then I can't tell her. I could tell her a lot of things.
All right, well, like what?
If I see someone that I find quite attractive walking downtown and it just left an impression on me, I can't go home and tell her.
You have to talk about it with someone.
I think you do have to kind of have that bond with another guy to kind of talk your mess and talk some S that you wouldn't talk to even with your lover of all these years. Like, it is so important that I do think guys take that for granted. I don't know if they think other guys are going to look down upon them for saying, I have a best friend. But there's one guy now that if we talk on the phone, it's about a 15 or 20 minute conversation and we are laughing our asses off just about different stuff, talking noise. And I think that's the release that you need. It's not every day. It's probably once every 3 or 4 weeks. But it's almost all that built up so you can get that conversation out. And I think it just keeps me sane.
See, I think that guys have there's different kinds of guys, certainly, because I know some of my guy friends have kept up the same friendships they've had ever since they were, in junior high school.
how I
that
am.
time. And I think that a lot of people do that. A lot of guys in particular have the same friends that they've had for forever. I think that there is, and we're in a safe space here. This
Trust
is
tree.
just totally safe. I mean, no one else can hear this but the three of us.
No, that's it.
I do think that there is a gender difference in that guys have a harder time making friends once that they get older. Guys, when they get married and when they couple up, I think that they kind of stop making friendships, and then all of their time kind of goes to their spouse, and that spouse becomes their everything to them. I think women are better about keeping up their female friendships than even guys are about their male friendships. And that's not true for everyone, but I think it seems to be, in my experience, true for a lot of guys that I know.
I think there's a lot of truth to that, because as I've gotten older, we might make couple friends where we both can hang out with each other, but it's very rare. My two best friends that I still to this day talk to and see, I've known since I was 13 years old. 3 of them. Then my brothers who I grew up with. Outside of that, I've maybe made 1 or 2 guys that I would consider really close friends as an adult once you got over a certain age. And I don't know why that is.
I have a theory as to why this may divide along gender lines too. Let me try this on for size. You tell me what you think. Okay. So I think it's because I've noticed this with my guy friends, that they don't talk about their relationship with their wife in the same way that women will do what I feel is talking out of school about their relationship. Like, I don't think, like, a woman talking about bedroom stuff with her friends, that seems wrong to me. It seems like if you, in the marriage, you don't talk about your sex life with your guy friends. You don't talk about your wife in a way that you would talk about some girl that you're just hooking up with or you're dating.
That's true.
And once you get married, that marriage should be sacred, and it's not something that you troubleshoot with your guy friends.
Not the most intimate details. Like, if you're having some issues, and if you know your partner's your friend has kind of gone through that same thing, you may ask for advice from that guy friend, and you take everything to heart. But yeah, you're not getting into details because you're thinking the guy friend is going to use some of that material.
It seems gossipy and a little bit more drama, which they generally seem to be more drawn into.
Who's they?
The lady.
I mean, I don't know what's right and wrong here. I'm just saying there seems to be different lines that are drawn, and like women, I just don't know. My guy friends do not talk negatively about their wives. They don't really talk about it.
And
they
I
will
wouldn't
mention
do
them,
that.
and
It's
and they may make a stupid got to get a hall pass, or that's the ball and chain. Maybe they'll make some comment like that is like a passing, just well-worn, shop-worn comment about the but they will never talk about, man, she just, not to me anyway, so maybe I'm just not a guy they confide in, right? But they just don't talk bad about their spouse or their deep troubles inside their relationship the way that I've seen women kind of crowdsource how to handle their relationship.
But I think with the focus on mental health now, I think that really helps to get all of that stuff out, even if you have someone you can confide in, even if they're just listening, like, hey man, I don't need you to give me any advice right now. I just need you to listen so I can get this off of my chest.
So you say that to a guy?
Oh yeah. Just listen to me. I got to vent here for a second.
And I think that and you're right. This is probably changing with people knowing that mental health is important and you don't bottle things up. That's not good for you. But the old venting without solution is something that drives me crazy, and I've tried to learn how to do it more. I mean, not me venting, but listening to someone else vent, because that will make me crazy when she comes at you with some problem she's having at work or problem with her friend, and there's a real obvious solution, but you're not allowed to say it because I just want to talk about the problem. And you're like, oh, God, we've talked about it for 35 times now, and the solution's the same. And the first 12 times when I said that I think that you just probably ought to do this, you got mad at me because it was just talking. And
I don't know how do you get over that? Because
I don't
it
know.
becomes a whole thing like you're talking about where you go, yes, you told me this 3 times. You literally within the last 3 hours.
I know,
have
but
told
they
me this
did
3
it
times.
again. Well, I know. Well, you could stop it.
And what would you like to do now? Right.
Stop trying to solve everything and just listen.
I can't stand the repetition. That drives me insane. And I try not to get frustrated.
But I think we all do it. And that's why.
Yeah, we probably all do it in our own different way. And I'm sure guys do something.
And that's why I think
traditionally
it's good to
women have been upset with guys for not sharing enough.
Right. And I can understand that when you talk about your relationship or your spouse or whatever. That's why I think it's so important to have that buddy that you can just say anything to. That's not going to judge. That if you need the advice, that's going to be open to it and not just say, yeah, man, you're right. Because even if I'm kind of expressing myself to my wife, she's going to lean toward my side because that's my lady. So she's going to say, yeah, you're right. Instead of my good buddy now that will tell me 100% if I'm wrong.
He'll call you on
it. Dude,
if
you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, this is another reason why I'd like to live as a woman for a year.
A year?
At least.
Not just a day or an
That's
hour?
Just a starter. That's just a starter.
Oh, okay. All
The
right.
year starts you.
I get the bad feeling like a lot of women, although they talk about their problems with each other and are very good about sharing and that, I don't know that they always get good advice from their friends. Like there's this female code where they always stick up and tell each other that you're always right.
I know.
And that's not,
I think you're right.
That's
true.
not
Not good for people to always hear that hey, you're completely right and everybody else in your world is wrong.
Blank him, girl. You don't need him.
And
all
You
that.
see it from their perspective, particular. Maybe there's something that you're not looking
Yeah.
at. That, you're
And
right.
man, I'm telling you, that is a true friendship where someone can say, man, I really
dude,
think
you're being dramatic
being a jerk here.
Yeah,
Right,
you're being
right.
a jerk.
You're not right.
You
And
know, she's obviously giving you a little bit here on this, and you need to compromise with her too. You know, some guy that will tell you and shoot straight with you, and women need that same thing in their friendships.
And I think you're right.
Someone who says, you know, you're being kind of
Yeah, I think he's right. And I think if a female, if my wife was talking to her best friend and they said, no, I think Donnie's right, she may fall out of the chair. What are you saying?
Yeah, they violated the code.
I'm telling you my problems. You need to agree with me. I'm opening up.
Well, and I think that women, there's a certain disservice in their friendships when they're told that everything that they do is right and that's seen as support when it's not good support if that because then when they violate that, then that person's not a good friend. And, you know, she didn't take my side. She didn't take up for me in this. And, well, what if you were wrong in that? It's the old and I think that's probably why women have this weird thing where they support each other in front of their face and then we'll talk trash about them to the other friends behind the back.
Yeah.
Whereas guys, the nut kicking is really out front.
I know.
And in the open.
It's all the time. It's like a sign that we accept you and love you.
Right. We're buddies because I kick you.
You come into the watching part of this. Say you're all watching a game, you and your buddies, and you come in an outfit. They will immediately dog you if they think that outfit's bad.
Right.
And women, it seems like they come in, oh, that is so cute. You look so good in that.
And
That's so
let me
interesting.
take a picture of you.
Did you see what she was wearing?
They'll take a
you.
picture
Oh
and
my
then
God,
they'll
did you
send
see
it.
this?
They'll send it to everybody else. Do you
can't believe
believe what
she's
she
doing
had
this.
on? She looked like an idiot.
So which one? You know, they both have negatives to it. You don't like being around guys who just you get kicked in the nuts all the frickin' time because that could wear you down at some point.
I'm so used to it that it doesn't bother me
It
anymore.
is. When you have somebody that's not used to it, though, and they come into that circle of friends and they get it, I mean, that can be really where they're like, what is going on here? And then, well, that's just what we do. Like, that means we like you. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean that means you like me? You're making fun of whatever it is. I'm just having a good time.
And that's why you bring it up because I think the fellas do need that because we are so used to just keeping everything bottled up that once the jar gets so full and the top kind of loosens up and then when it falls
explodes.
off, you just go nuts because you kept everything inside. And man, I will call my buddy in a heartbeat and say, hey man, sit down because I got some mess to say.
Yeah.
And just kind of let go and you feel a whole lot better. Like you may feel like an idiot afterwards because after you talk it out, like, man, I can't believe I was that upset about that. That's ridiculous. But I think all that helps in trying to keep your sanity with everything that's going around because you could say, I can walk to my wife and go, never mind.
Yes.
Because I know it's not going to go anywhere, and I just feel like that's not the
not
right
worth
conversation to have with her. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like I'm trying to keep anything away. It's just you don't need to hear this at this particular time. I need to try this out on somebody else before I need to bring it to you, because I don't want bad things to happen. If now you need to hear the second draft. Not the first draft, because the first draft is rough. It's real rough.
Right.
I need an editor.
Kinks.
Like, my buddy is my editor, so he can say, no, take that word out. Don't do that. Don't say it like that. Just, kind of present it that way, and maybe everything is okay.
Well, I need a friend I can vent to. Donnie, will you be that person for me?
I got you.
That's great.
I'm a great listener.
Then you can vent to me, and I'll vent to him, and it'll be that try.
But then I'll call Matt afterwards, like, Matt.
But then the first time you find out that your buddy's been sharing what you share with him,
we'll have
then your heart's broken, and then you just learn.
It's
you
broken,
can't
but
trust
then you
anyone in
can
this world.
talk to him and like, what the blank, man?
Yeah.
See, that's the difference. I can't go to my wife and say that.
But then he just turns it back on you and says, "Well, but I only shared it with one other person. I mean, come on."
I mean, there's two
you
people
have a
I could tell
problem with
anything
that?
to.
That's your problem.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Lock it up, and that's it. Done. Like if you killed somebody, there's got to be that one person you can call and be like, look, I got to tell somebody.
It really is. Like, it's going to stay locked down.
Right.
And I think everyone needs that person, minus the person that you're with every single day. You got to have that someone there that can lock it in the vault, and there's no coming out.
Right. Yeah.
And I know I have that person, so I have no worries about that at all.
I had a buddy that his wife always complained that he didn't talk, didn't share enough. And so finally he went to therapy, and he decided he'd just start sharing. So he started sharing stuff with him. About a year into it, she says, I kind of liked it better when you're just the strong, mysterious type that did not even know every little thought that you had.
All right, make the call, Tyler.
Whoa!
A lot of college football today. We'll wrap up Domino's at 10:50. McElroy will be with us at 11:10. But coming up next, we've got to talk about what happened in Fort Worth. Dion in Colorado. On the ticket.
Get the Steak Podcast at patreon.com/sportsgreek.
Once again, The Ticket presents Why Today Doesn't Suck.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
And now, here are your hosts, Sean Bass and David Mino.
Somebody
Bolt. It's the sweet spot. David Mino, Sean Bass. Thank you so much for spending your middays with us. And at 2:56, here's Ham.
Thank you, Mino. Here's Justo Monteritaville.
That was hard to say, wasn't it?
Justo Margaritaville.
Monteritaville.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ham.
It's funny.
We say hello to the hard line, Bob Sturm, Corby Davidson, and
Corby.
David Lane. Hello, Hardline.
Go, Dave.
Hey, Dad.
Hello.
Go, Dave. Happy Tuesday.
Hi, Monty.
Hey, now.
Hey, Bob.
Totally feels like a Monday.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
Somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Well, today is actually Tuesday.
Whoa.
Isn't that weird?
Can we go back to yesterday, please?
Well, today is Tuesday, September the 5th, the 248th day of 2023, 117 left in the year. On this date in 1698,
Whoa.
Peter the Great of Russia instituted the beard tax,
That was the olden times.
which is self-explanatory. To enforce the ban on beards, he empowered his police to forcibly and publicly shave anyone who refused to pay the beard tax.
Oh, I thought this was gay dudes with wives.
You had just tax the hell out
How
of
do
them.
you question him?
Well, what's the point?
I don't know. He wanted them to...
It's like Steinbrenner.
Yeah, could you have a mustache?
I think they were trying to be more European.
They were trying to be more Westernly.
Hey, look, Jalen Hurts just gave the Super Bowl away.
Oops.
Bingo.
Would
It
a
is
top
bingo.
5 player in the whole NFL do that, Bob?
I'd never seen that before.
I don't know that he would. I don't know if the Schitt's Creek of quarterback would do that.
It's jarring. Schitt's Creek. Jarring.
Oh, that's the only reason we're doing this.
On this date, 1836.
I did hear that.
Well, hey, welcome back, Ham. Laugh.
The little girl purr he does.
Tickle me, Ham.
You leave Ham alone.
He's still doing it. Can we continue, Ham?
Hamo.
Did y'all hear his wife has to remind him to eat now?
What?
He played video games for 27 hours after he got
And
back.
he forgot to eat.
She's like, you got to come down for dinner.
His wife had to shove a tube up his nose.
Does she just yank the cords out of the wall to make you stop playing?
No, I got wireless
Yeah,
now.
she unplugs the red and the white and the yellow cords. From the
She
TV.
pushes all the buttons at the same time. Like, one of these will turn it off.
No.
With
Not
a-
at a save point yet.
With an open hand.
We
just
talked about,
touching all the buttons.
He had to eat 5 bagel bites before she'd let him back up there.
What's your
You have to eat
continuous?
this many.
What's your continuous PR? Is it gaming or drumming?
That's personal record.
Yeah. Gaming, definitely. Because drumming, you have to hydrate.
He didn't want to do
And
that.
I don't want to do
Actual
that.
water.
Yeah, you can't drink water.
So was it 27 straight hours, or was there...
Just total.
Okay.
And
But
what
it
do
was
you,
came
over a
out Friday.
31-hour span.
what are you hydrating with when you're playing video games? Big Red?
Little bites?
No, just Dr. Pepper still.
Dr. Pepper.
Do you?
Dr. Pepper.
Yes or no? Do you eat little bites?
No,
Ham?
I don't. No.
Okay.
What are little bites?
You don't know about little bites?
Are they little pizza
Oh,
bags?
the muffins?
Those are the little bags of muffins.
Oh,
that
my God.
Kids mow through like there's no tomorrow.
I mean, it looks
looks
like an
pretty
animal
spare.
got after it when those things are opened.
You think they're spare?
Get a nice
They
chocolate
look...
chip
I don't
one.
think I've
Well,
had these.
they're just the air sealed muffins that will never go bad
They're
if you
made
leave
by
them in there for
Intimate.
3 months.
You know they're good.
What are there, 4 in there? 5?
I think there's 4.
Little purple bags,
If
right?
God's
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
out for you, there's 5 in there.
Yeah, if you got the bonus.
Yeah, if God's giving you a little wink, he'll throw one extra.
It's like an autograph insert, but with mini muffins.
Oh my God, I got a 5th party cake muffin.
Did you think you'd say that sentence this morning when you woke up?
On this date in 1836, Sam Houston elected as President of the Republic of Texas.
Right.
Which had recently earned its independence from Mexico. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, Bob.
Sorry, Sally.
I like Mexico. He likes Mexico.
Nah, hurrah.
Nobody rides the fence on this whole Texas versus Mexico thing like I do.
You do. I wish I could play both sides like you.
Yeah. It'd have been tough for us back then, right, Bob?
Seriously.
Sneaking out of the Alamo. Going to get some arroz con
Painting your
pollo.
face with Texas colors all of a sudden.
Anybody want any coffee? Okay.
I got to come back in, take my sombrero off before Bowie sees me.
I'm just.
Wait a second.
Oh, no, sorry.
I'm just hiding.
You were just on the other side of the wall.
No, I wasn't. I was here.
I'm hiding behind a stagecoach, waiting to see which side is going to win.
Just wait until we join the Confederacy.
Whoa.
Oh, it's always been your dream.
Huh.
In 1970...
What?
I believe that was Davey impersonating Suegra last week.
Oh, she wasn't at. Was that when she was at Kyle Field?
Yeah, I think she didn't understand why we were
While they're
going.
starting at the 25.
7 overtimes. Poor K.
But that would be, yeah.
No kickoffs?
Bob, that would be you trying to talk to Santa Ana in your Spanish, trying
Right.
to tell him what's going on.
Poor K overtime.
It's like, yeah, it's Joe Burrow. You know how tough it is to beat Joe Burrow at Kyle?
Burrow.
No, it's Joe Donkey.
Burrow. Comprende, Burrow.
I think that's what
She
we can...
understands it.
Right.
So
Wait a
we're
minute.
going to have Bob Sturm on Tuesdays at 2:30
Yeah.
during football season.
I know him.
To talk
With-
some Cowboys.
With special guest Swagger.
And I think we're going to... I think we should call the segment Porqué Overtime.
Yes.
Not Bob's Bible Bonkers.
Or that too. That's very strong.
Yeah,
I like
So many
4K
options.
so many
overtime.
names. In 1970, at the Munich Olympics,
Uh-oh.
The Nazis.
11 Israeli athletes were taken hostage by the Palestinian Black September group, which were later killed.
Good movie. Bad scene. but good movie.
Was Clooney
Kind of
in that
snuck
one?
up on you, like, oh god.
How many tragic
Eric
historical? How many tragic historical moments can be described with that?
I know.
Good movie, bad
Right.
scene.
Yeah.
La Bamba, great movie. Just until the whole plane thing.
Till the day the music died.
Titanic.
Yeah. I stopped that movie about an hour 20 in. I think
It's like,
Richie's-
oh, they're having fun.
I think Richie's
Right.
still out there
Hey, he
making
made it.
good
He's
music.
Got
young. He's in
maracas.
love.
Same with Selena. She's still singing Bitty Bitty Bum Bum
Gosh,
right
it's
now.
so cold in the car. Just get on the plane, man.
And in 2006, Katie Couric makes headlines. She became the first female solo anchor of a weekday network evening newscast.
It's Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
It's kind of a long description of a record,
Yeah,
though.
a lot of qualifiers. Weekday network evening newscast.
Were they ever attacked by bears?
A position she held for over 3 weeks.
Sounds like you're putting her down, L4G. This is a
No,
momentous
love
occasion,
her.
sir.
Oh,
No, this is a big deal. Say sorry to Katie.
Sorry, Kate.
All right, P1 birthdays today. Hey, Monty, today is P1 Raleigh's 47th birthday. His leaders are Gordon and the Rant Revival. If you'd be so
Our
kind, he'd like to hear Davey sing Sinead O'Connor. Dubs up from P1 Walt.
R.I.P. Dubs up.
Boy, look at that snake.
I do know.
Joe Burrow won his
I don't remember her doing that.
final 16 college games,
It's pretty impressive.
but 17 took his L in 7 overtimes.
I'm sure he really remembers that.
Yeah.
I bet you if you asked him where his last L was in college, he would know.
Oh, yeah, he would definitely know.
Kellen Moore won more.
And so would Aggie fans after the T-shirt that they made following the game, right?
It was a big day. Anytime you win a game 74-72 over Joe Burrow, you remember it. It's
We
okay.
beat a 6-6 team.
They weren't 6-6.
You bro's going to talk
9-3.
Colorado today?
Oh, bro.
Dude, my Buffs.
Catch that game?
Your Buffs.
My Buffs.
Colorado Rockies.
There's
P1
room
Andrew,
there's room on the train if you want to get on.
P1 Andrew says, shout out to coworker Todd. Today is his 33rd birthday.
Because we coming.
We are coming.
Let's see if he can
That'd
possibly.
be our show name?
Let's see if we can possibly take
Boss
down
beats
the
game.
next Cowboys coach, Matt Rule, first before we jump on that train.
Not sure if he was woken up in that special way, but he would love to hear a Corby drop, as that is his leader.
Oh, it's so sweet. Oh. Golly.
Oh, my God.
Sounds like you got it all out.
Yeah. There's air at the end of that thing. Hey, Hardline. It's the 42nd birthday of my dad, Trey. He converted me to a P1 well before the new Hardline stabbed their way to the top. Drop request, either an L4G joke or have Ham spin the wheel.
Okay.
I'll let you two figure that one out. Who gets it first?
Guy walks
Kinda
into
hard
a
to do.
pub and sees a sign hanging over the bar that reads cheeseburger $5, chicken sandwich $6, Hange $10. He walks up to the bar and beckons one of the 3 exceptionally attractive blondes serving drinks. Can I help you? She asks. I was wondering, whispered the man, are you the one who gives the Hange? Yes, she purrs, I am. Well, the man replies, well, wash your hands. I want a cheeseburger.
Okay.
Oh, see, it's topical.
You didn't want the Hange.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
On his burger. Crank the boop it. Oh.
Oh, by the way, Ham, Jimmy Buffett died also.
What? Yeah.
Ham didn't know Gil Brandt died.
Yeah, we
Until
told
we
him.
talked about him.
He was genuinely flabbergasted.
He was taken aback.
I forgot that we had a blood oath that anytime Gil Brandt died, I would tell him immediately.
Yeah.
You
no
don't
matter
have
where he was.
NFL executive notifications on your. Let's see.
Yeah, if
Hold on.
Ozzie Newsome ever kicks the bucket,
What
I got to
game?
immediately text Ham.
What game is he playing?
Now, what did Gil Brandt say about Jimmy Buffett?
I think he was a man living to die.
I think he was a man living to be dead.
Yeah, living to be dead.
I think I like Monty's default game, though. What was the one you said last week that cracked me up? It's the one that they play at the conventions. Monty.
I don't remember.
I'm drawing a blank, bro.
The video game.
Just so much gold that I just kind of forget.
What's it called? We went
Call
to
of Duty?
No, we went to Allen and they were having the place was full and they were playing this game and my son was into it. I don't know.
Skyrim?
You literally said it last
Wildland?
week on the air.
I don't
Sonic?
remember.
Rocket League?
Asteroids? No.
Pitfall?
Pitfall.
Pitfall. That's it.
Tank.
That was a good one, Justin.
I don't know what that is. I don't remember bringing that up. Birthdays today. Bob Newhart, 94.
The great Bob Newhart.
Take its own.
May he live to be 200.
He'd be 108 begging
That'd be a
for a
record.
revolver to be pressed against his temple. And you want him to be 200?
Yes.
Okay. Warner Herzog, 81.
Werner.
Whitey's dead.
He didn't trust him.
Dennis Dugan, who directed a lot of Adam Sandler movies. You would know him as the director of Golf in Happy Gilmore. Is 77. If you look it up, he did a lot of Adam Sandler movies.
A lot of Happy Madison productions.
A lot of classics.
Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison,
Grandma's
Grown Ups. No, I don't think he did that one.
Snatch?
Was
Don't
Grandma's
mess with
Boy
the Zohan.
Sandler?
It's Happy Madison.
Okay.
It was his production company.
Bob, what was that again? You thought he did?
Snatch?
Yeah, that's it.
That was actually Madonna's ex-husband.
Huh. Tell me about it.
Turning 72 today, Ham.
Overwatch,
Ham.
Monty.
Overwatch. Okay, that I do know.
Oh, that makes it a lot funnier.
There's
not
a lot
there
of
to be
stuff on
funny.
X
It's there
videos
to
about Overwatch. Check it out, L4G.
educate and inform.
Ham, Michael Keaton is 72 today.
Oh, Ham.
Batman. Great, Ned.
Is that why you came back today?
Batman. The best Batman.
He made The Flash, the new Flash, an incredible movie. Also, Ham, I had no idea who this guy was. He insisted. Brad Wilk is 55.
That's the former Bad Radio guest.
Zone, yeah.
I made the same joke. He did not like it.
That's the Rage Against the Machine drummer.
Sure. Dweezil Zappa, 54.
It's not funny anymore, is it, guys?
No. Rose McGowan is 50.
What was her deal?
She kind of spearheaded the Me Too movement, and that's why you forgot about it.
What was her deal?
Marilyn Manson?
Well, she created Me Too.
Did she take his rib out?
Wasn't
I
she
don't want to
in
do it
the-
anymore. You do it yourself.
That was the Westworld chick.
Wasn't she in the
Tired.
Marilyn Manson story somewhere?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was Lady McHead.
Lady Overwatch.
Also today, turning 49, Triple Fake Bob. Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Evan Rachel Wood, Rachel Evan Wood, one of the two. Evan Rachel
What kind of
Wood?
wood
I think
doesn't- what kind of
Anal
wood doesn't
Rachel
float?
Wood.
No.
Rachel Evan Grant.
No.
Parrot head.
None of those are right. Turning 49 today, Triple Fake Bob. The head honcho in House of Dragon, Patty Considine, is 49. He started to look less good throughout that whole season.
The show also started to look less good.
What did he die of?
Leprosy.
I think it was HIV.
It's his birthday.
He turned into a leopard?
He had dragon AIDS.
Yeah, it was totally Dragon AIDS.
They shouldn't have a good cocktail back then to help combat it.
Actually, I think when he was starting to get sick, it was the last time I watched that show. To this point, I still have to.
When he peeled
He gets better, don't
peeled
worry.
a lesion off his skull.
I still have to unpause that segment or that episode.
He gets better. And also from Game of Thrones, the Red Woman, Karis Van Houten, is 47.
Oh, yeah.
She had a lot of room to make milk.
If your sack were bursting with milk, wouldn't you want to be milked anymore?
I would think so.
But she was really like 300 years old, right?
Yeah, when she took off like a ring or
Melisandre?
Yeah.
something.
That would be a buzzkill.
Teach you, though.
Yeah, she takes off the necklace.
When you see
You're like,
like 300 years of Sager in like 5 seconds.
They just
Wait a
droop.
second.
They hit the ground faster than a guillotine.
You just
like,
go.
whoa, pick them back up.
You just go walk into the dragon's mouth.
Or give me another drink.
You just try to make it work.
You tie a filet mignon to your head. Just walk in there. Take me.
Give me my theme music.
Sports birthdays today. Hall of Famer Bill Mazeroski, 87.
The 1960 World Series Game 7 home run.
Sports.
Ty. Rod Barajas is 48.
Whoa. Former Ranger.
We need to ask Gerald Laird how he feels about it.
The successor to Pudge.
Nazi Muhammad, 46.
Nazi.
Francis Ngannou, Bob, 37.
Boy, what a great.
He punched one of the guys in Jackass in the nuts, I think.
But he left to box.
How's he doing?
Is that still happening?
Is he fighting a Paul brother?
I think he fights Tyson Fury.
Paul in...
Is that happening?
Jake Paul would kick his ass.
No, he's fighting an actual boxer.
Jake Paul.
Oh,
so he's fighting Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Words,
one loss. One loss on his record. How many does Francis have?
How many real boxers has he fought?
He fought one of the Fury brothers.
Didn't he just fight his brother, who's also a boxer?
No,
we'll find his record.
brother's a brother of a boxer.
Uh-huh.
That's different.
That's what broke up the hard line. Boxing.
Being the brother of a fighter does not make one a fighter.
I don't know. He's pretty awesome. Ask my kids.
Ask Fred Romo if he's an NFL quarterback.
Also turning 37, Colton McCoy.
Did anybody pick him up?
Texas dirt underneath this
Yeah,
Put it under the
sprinkle it out there.
I did not realize he was almost 40. Also surprised by his age, Lance Stevenson's only 32.
What?
Future Maverick.
I wouldn't have guessed he was 42.
Are you serious? That
Yeah,
can't
bro.
be right.
Look it up on the internet.
You're right. You're right. It's on the internet.
TJ Warren, 29. Mac Jones, 25.
Mac Jones.
Yeah.
And Davion Mitchell, 24. Let's see. Dead on this day, still dead. Mother Teresa.
She's nice.
Yeah, she had a lot of good things going for her.
Who'd she strike out?
Okay. Not every nun is striking out
I think she struck
people.
out Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
They called her one bad mother.
Would you trade the Rangers bullpen right now for a
Sister
bullpen
Jean.
full
Oh
of
my
nuns?
gosh.
Sister Jean and Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
Spin rate.
Has that joke not been made by Dave Raymond? Mother Teresa could have gotten this idiot out.
And born on this day, now dead, Freddie Mercury.
I thought you were
Died of
gonna say-
Dragon AIDS.
He did.
Who's got AIDS?
That was who my
Dragon
dad
AIDS.
always associated the Rod Stewart thing with.
Really?
Yeah.
Would Queen
he
be
still
playing?
thinks to this day that happened.
Well,
And would they be playing House of Blues this weekend if he didn't?
If he was
die?
still alive, yeah. They've downgraded to the House of Blues.
They still got to get Adam Lambert out of there.
Let's kick off.
Somebody.
Oh.
Bye, Justin.
Bye, David. Bye, 4J.
Broadcasting live from the...
okay, here we go. Here's Dave. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Go, Dave.
Dave.
Yes, as you no doubt know by now, thanks to Ham's return music, that we have lost Steve Harwell, the co-founder and former lead singer of Smash Mouth.
Mm-hmm.
He died at the age of 56 yesterday at his home in Idaho from liver failure. So he went into hospice last week, and his manager at that time said that he only had a week or so to live, that he was in the final stages of liver failure, but that friends and family were gathering to visit him. And
Was this booze related?
yeah, he was a heavy drinker.
Sometimes you hear liver and it's something else, but you kind of figured.
Yeah, so he did have some other health trouble. He had heart problems that he collapsed on stage in 2016. And then in 2021, he retired from performing altogether due to his ongoing health issues, and so they replaced him with some other dude.
Was he open about his liver problems?
I don't know.
Drinking, I guess. Maybe not your liver problems, but
I don't
he said,
know
"Man,
if he.
can't
I don't know if
quit."
he ever did
Hello.
like rehab, or if he. Sometimes people with liver failure, they drink till they die.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So yeah, Steve Harwell's died. Also, Gary Wright, he died this morning.
Sorry,
I
Ty.
believe, at the age of 80.
Yeah, what?
You loved Gary Wright.
Yeah, Dreamweaver was my jam.
Yeah, his son confirmed the death, did not reveal a cause of death, but he was 80.
Yeah, it's a good life. The other guy, not so much. A little too young.
Yeah, so this album, Dreamweaver, was a smash success in 75. And this song actually was inspired by a trip that he took to India with George Harrison.
Really?
Because he was tight with the Beatles. Before he went solo, he was in a band called Spooky Tooth, but he also was a session guy. And so he played on all of George Harrison's solo records.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
And he also played on some of Ringo Starr's early singles. And he was one of the first rock stars in the 70s to ever wear a keytar. That was his signature move, to wear the keytar.
It's probably time he died.
Jeez. And we also, I think everyone kind of suspected, but we also know Jimmy Buffett's cause of death. He died on Friday, right?
Friday night,
Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And it was because of his 4-year battle with Merkel cell skin cancer.
Right.
And so his family is asking that instead of flowers, that donations be made to his foundation, Singing for Change, and also the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute or MD Anderson Cancer Center. So,
DJ, who meant more to you? Gary Wright, Jimmy Buffett, or the Smash Mouth guy?
All tied for 0. 0 impact whatsoever.
You weren't a big Shrek fan?
No.
Was that a big... I didn't see Shrek.
Yeah, the All-Star was... It had a huge second life. It was in a lot of different soundtracks, but it made tons of cash for them based on the Shrek sound. Yeah. The Rolling Stones are in the news once again, not because any of them died, although Charlie Watts died in 2021. But no, they are announcing their first original studio album since 2005.
Wow.
A Bigger Bang came out in 2005, and they have announced their next record, which will debut tomorrow with a exclusive YouTube live stream. It's called Hackney Diamonds. And so they are going to be on stage from a venue in Hackney, which is a borough of London, I guess is where they're from.
Yeah.
And so it'll be Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Ronnie Wood chatting with Jimmy Fallon. He'll be the MC.
Okay. Is Jimmy going to be there, or is this...
I think so. Or maybe it's via satellite. Who knows? Who could say?
So these guys are 80, making new records.
Yeah, they just toured this past summer celebrating their 60th anniversary as a band. And Keith Richards and Ronnie Wood are both in their late 70s. Mick Jagger will turn 80 next July, and they're about to kick off another world tour to support this record.
Again, Jerry Jones and Mick Jagger were shot out of hospital area rooms around the same time.
Around the same time, yes. And these recordings feature the final recordings of Charlie Watts, the drummer who passed away in 2021. And they released a little bit of a teaser. This is only like 15 seconds, but it's a song called Don't Get Angry With Me.
Okay.
So see if you think this is going to be relevant.
I love it.
In 2023. What in the hell?
What are you playing?
I don't know.
This doesn't sound very Stonesy.
This is hot.
Yeah, this is going to kill the
I
charts.
hate autoplay videos on websites. I just want to kill them all.
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay, here we go.
That's it.
That's it. That's all we got.
That's a banger. I give him credit, man. Look, if you're... So there was no point to that? You just wanted to play audio?
Yes, exactly.
If you're 80 years old and you feel the need that it's time for a new album, more power to you. And you're the greatest band of rock and rollers ever, fine, do it.
As reported by Ham earlier, there was a lot of flooding due to Hurricane Hillary that completely sidetracked Burning Man.
Dude.
So
this story.
They got more than a half inch of rain out in the desert, in the Nevada desert on Friday, which caused flooding and foot-deep mud patches.
So you have 75,000 people there, and they can't get out.
Yes. And so tens of thousands of people were stranded for days because they were waiting. Organizers were waiting until things dried up enough by yesterday afternoon to allow people to begin to leave from the caravan.
It's a camping thing. It's, I don't know how long the thing lasts, a week or something like that.
Yeah.
Before they burn this. It's like what A&M used to do with the bonfire, except multiply that times 10,000. The
10,000 bonfires.
I'm telling you, man, if you go Google what they actually
see the
burn.
bonfire from space. I don't know if you know that.
Well, then you can see it from a different galaxy, this one.
Wow.
This is crazy how much they burn. And they told these people once the flooding started, stay in your cars and ration your food.
Yeah.
And kids, please do not jar.
Maybe they should have started jarring.
Seriously. There's a football stadium worth of people in a concentrated area.
It's like it's a music festival without bands. Like they have DJs, but all it is people taking drugs in the desert.
Ray Guy died this morning.
We don't know if Ray Guy was there ever.
So around 2 in the afternoon yesterday, event organizers started to let traffic flow, and after about 2 hours, they said that it was about 5 more hours before people would be able to get out.
Dude.
So people were leaving because they were like, I'm not staying. I can't stay here any longer. It was a 6.5 mile walk out of the area to get to an interstate, and every step literally was.
Yeah, you're hiking through mud.
The mud walk.
So bad.
And so 2 of the people who did walk through the mud and finally hitch a ride 6 miles later were Diplo and the Chris Rock.
Shut up. They were there?
Yeah, Diplo and Chris Rock were together.
What were they doing there?
And they ended up riding in the back of somebody's pickup truck. They had walked 6 miles, and Diplo said, I legit walked on the side of the road for hours with my thumb out.
Diplo and Chris Rock.
Yeah, they finally got picked up by somebody and rode in the back of their pickup truck.
All right, pound for pound.
That's incredible.
Is that the richest duo hitchhiking team in the history of hitchhikers?
Yes.
What do you think Diplo's net worth is? Because Chris Rock's probably about 50, 60.
Wow.
All right, I'm on it.
I'm looking at Diplo's tweet here with Chris Rock. That's wild, man.
In the back of a pickup.
Chris Rock's in a Knicks jacket.
Diplo is worth $50 million.
Really?
Dude, yes.
Wow.
And Chris Rock, I don't know. Do you have Chris Rock up there, Ty?
He is $60 million.
No doubt, pound for pound.
Yes.
The richest hitchhiking duo in the history of hitchhiking.
All right, couple of quick divorce notes before we got to go, and these are not about me, thankfully.
One more.
Christine Baumgartner lost big in her divorce trial, her effort to try and get more child support from Kevin Costner. So she was originally asking for $175,000 a month in child support. Then she reduced that to $161,000 a month. Costner had proposed $60,000
a month.
She ended up getting the judge made a ruling on Friday. She ended up getting $63,000, so $3,000 more than Costner's original offer. And so now that means that she has to move into that rental home in Montecito.
Oh no!
That I guess she had put down a deposit on it, but they hadn't moved in yet because she was hoping that she could find a better place because it wasn't commensurate with the beach home that they were used to. And so it's a 4-bedroom property that sits on an acre of land, has hiking trails, pool, jacuzzi, manicured gardens. But what it doesn't have, she says that people that stay in the guest house would have to come into the main house to use the shower. and that her sons would have to share a bathroom while her daughter would share her bathroom with the rest of the house, so they don't get their own private en-suites.
It's tough,
So
isn't
that's
it?
tough. And I don't know if any of you guys crushed on Sansa from Game of Thrones, but Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas are breaking up. Joe Jonas has filed for divorce, saying that their marriage is irreparably broken.
She should sick the dogs on him.
So they have 2 children together, a 3-year-old daughter
Thank you.
and a 14-month-old daughter that was not named in the documents. But yes, both Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner on the market, depending on which way you swing.
Do you think Joe Jonas is going to have a hard time getting a good-looking woman?
I think he'll be fine.
And what about Sansa?
Well, she does have the 2 kids that she needs to get somebody to accept.
Yeah. Constantly suckling on her.
Maybe she should marry Sultan.
I
Haven't
would
seen
support
Shrek,
that.
huh?
No.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm still hung up on that, too.
Yeah.
That's really weird, man.
I don't...
That's right there
My
with
kids
haven't
weren't into
heard
it.
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
No,
Never been to
no.
a bank.
Never been to a bank.
Yeah, just has money choppered to his house, yet he hasn't seen Shrek.
A bunk? What?
It's a bank, not bunk.
Oh. All right. All right, good stuff, David.
Here's Dave.
All right, we have a number of things to get to before Sturm Center. North Texas, as a whole, is under a heat advisory once again. It is set to expire at 9 o'clock tomorrow night.
Bring it on, bitch.
But I imagine that it'll probably be extended because highs are supposed to be in the hundreds for the rest of the week. High tomorrow, 102. High Thursday, 104. High Friday, 105. However,
there's a but in here.
There is a cold front that is going to begin approaching this weekend, and that will bring chance of rain and storms, and highs will dip down into the 90s. So
Bob?
Saturday we have a 20% chance of rain with a high of 99. Sunday, 20% chance, the high of 98.
Sturm.
Yes, Corby.
I want you to look now. What is today? Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday. Can confirm.
Okay. I want you to read to me starting on Monday. So we have this little weekend coming up here, right? After the big weekend, but this is a little weekend coming up. So I want you to look and tell me the temperatures Monday through Thursday.
Holy heck. 92 on Monday, and then Tuesdays and Wednesdays, chance of rain is at 50% both days. 81 will be the high on Tuesday and Wednesday.
What's up?
And then 84 on Thursday. Do we keep going?
That's it.
Where is this?
This is next week in Dallas, Texas.
Wow.
We have
our community.
Literally 1 week from today, the high will be 81.
Is this on ESPN or
Well,
NBA?
no,
It's
not
here.
TV,
It's
just
real life,
thing, yeah.
Dave.
Let me tell you.
I can go one more week.
I will play golf in the rain next week.
I'll play with you nude.
Interesting.
Big doings today in Austin.
The marshal may have issues with your nude golf.
Whatever. You can't stop me.
As the impeachment trial of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton began.
Oh, God.
The day began with Paxton introducing a pretrial motion to get all of the articles of impeachment dismissed.
How do I...
That failed in a 24-6 vote.
How do I avoid this?
Well, first of all...
I can't avoid him. How do I avoid this, though?
I don't know.
Like, this is literally when I see or hear Ken Paxton impeachment, you talk about, like, where do I run?
Right. Well, I just have one note for you.
I'd rather talk about John or Jim Paxson.
So,
bringing it back to sports.
They broke for lunch. Ken Paxton was there this morning.
Gotta eat.
They broke for lunch, and Ken Paxton did not return after the lunch break. Mm-hmm. And so the prosecuting team was asking, well, why isn't he here? And Paxton's attorney said, well, the trial rules call for him to be at trial at 9 a.m. Tuesday, but it didn't say anything about being here all day.
Yeah, he had to eat.
So he just bailed on the afternoon.
All right, I have one question before I recuse myself from talking about Ken Paxton and impeachment. I'll ask DJ. DJ, you're a high-level producer in this market.
Thank you for knowing that.
Is Ken Paxton up for impeachment because he had sex with an intern?
No, he is not.
Why is he up for impeachment? Is it financial? Is it...
It's always financial corruption. One of his buddies is alleged to have hired his mistress to work at his company for him.
Okay.
It's a tangled web.
It's a bunch of quid pro quo.
Okay.
This for that,
if you will.
Abuse of power.
He sounds real plugged in, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. Good first day,
It's
DJ.
possible we have a new political analyst.
Yeah, we do. Anytime we need a talking head to chime in on
let's go now to
politics of the day.
DJ Rehenberg, who has more.
Yeah, DJ, you're in court. Can you take your hat off, please?
I can play right-wing firebrand. I can do liberal, whatever y'all need.
Well, we might need both.
Rednecks.
What about bearded centrist?
Yeah.
I can do that. Sure.
Okay, DJ, do you know...
Where were you on January 6th?
Do you know days with a hat and days without a hat this year?
I'd say probably 0 days without a hat.
0 days.
Yeah.
That's
At
impressive.
some point, it touches his head.
Yes.
Is this Expo level hat commitment?
It's high.
I mean, it's this hat specifically, too. I don't deviate.
No, that's gross. Do you wash it?
No.
Gross, sir.
It's just got my greatness stained all over it.
Yeah.
Did it go to Mexico with you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's still got sand
It
in
has
it.
its own passport.
Corby, have you been following the very sad news of the shooting in the West 7th District?
Dude. Okay, can you guys help me out? Because I missed the very beginning of the TCU game. This is the TCU student...
Wes Smith. He was a junior finance major, and he was a redshirt freshman on the 2021 Frogs football team.
Yeah, he walked on. He's, I think, a Tennessee kid.
Yeah.
And was outside of a bar, and some random, almost transient sounded dude just walked up to him and started shooting for no reason.
It's one of the creepier stories.
Dude, I mean, you talk about you sending your kid to college and, oh, please be safe. And
yes.
You couldn't draw this up in a playbook. You could draw up a shooting, but you couldn't draw up just standing there, nothing happening, and a man walks up to you and basically starts rambling nonsensical gibberish and shoots you.
Yeah, so the shooter, 21-year-old guy, Matthew Purdy Jr., and so he was quickly identified by witnesses and arrested on Friday night. Actually, I guess Thursday night, late Thursday, early Friday. And what he told police is that he asked Wes if Wes knew his father, who was assaulted in the past near 7th Street. Like, what do you say to that? No, I don't know your dad. And then he said he didn't know Wes.
Right.
He had no reason to believe that Wes was the person that assaulted his dad.
Right.
But he asked him this random question and then just pulls out a gun and shoots him 3 times.
Yeah, and like...
Did you hear what he said?
I know he shot him the last time, like in the back of the head to make sure he was dead.
It was like, I think he told detectives something along the lines of, I would have kept shooting if I had more bullets or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's
the
so
guy is
deranged.
obviously deranged.
And they found him not too long after that, walking, and they said he had the gun, like, they couldn't find the gun, but then they found it, like, in his butt.
Like he shoved it down the back of his pants?
I think so. Like, on up in there.
Hope he had the safety on. Well, that's
It's
really,
horrible.
really awful.
My question was, though, did anybody see the very beginning of the game? Did TCU do a moment of silence? Or
Yeah, I believe they did.
Okay.
Yeah. We also had this sent to us from a bunch of P1s. We were talking about the criminal call of the void this morning.
Yes.
Yeah. There actually was an armored car robbery last Friday on South Carroll Avenue in Dallas around 9:30 in the morning. A 52-year-old driver, David Ruback, was in the process of making a cash delivery to a business. He and his partner were, and as he walked to the back door of the business, an unknown suspect approached him and shot him He ended up dying from his injuries. The suspect picked up the courier bag with the cash and fled in a white Chevy Impala with a driver. And the car is still not been located. The suspect still at large.
You know, we used to have a P1 that got caught doing this and went to jail. I mean, this was 25, 30 years ago.
Robbing cash deliveries or robbing armored trucks?
A truck, yeah.
Golly.
And it was on a whim. One of those things where he's with friends and one of the other guys is like, that guy, let's go hit that guy over the head and steal the money.
Jeez.
And, of course, they did it and got caught, and yeah.
All right, let's end on at least a positive note.
Okay.
Because this is a Monday on a Tuesday.
Because you've kind of bummed us out so far.
Yeah, I don't know. When we have a long weekend, it's just a backlog of bad news, and I'm really apologizing for it. But good news is that the presumptive positive for the brain-eating amoeba at the Arlington water parks was false. That the EPA is going to do more testing, but they confirmed on Friday that the water sample that had a presumptive positive test was indeed negative.
Okay.
And so Arlington was able to reopen all their city pools and their splash pads for the holiday weekend on Saturday. The only one they didn't was the park in question, California Lane Park. And they just wanted to do additional disinfecting and hyperchlorinization, and they want to do more tests just to make triple sure. But good news is nobody got the brain-eating amoeba, and it's not in Arlington.
Anytime you can eliminate brain-eating amoeba from the lexicon of the area, you feel better about things.
He's right.
Not worse. All right, good stuff, Dave.
Get the Steak Podcast at patreon.com/sportsgreek.